Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines comes to you compliments. Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me whenever you're in need. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines all over. Wherever you ride, we'll be right there with you. Wherever you ride, we'll make your dreams come true. Next time, next time, next time, next day,
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
This is Network News for Thursday, September 21, 2023. In the headlines, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell to address the United Nations General Assembly on Friday as he joins Foreign Affairs Minister Joseph Andal at the UN headquarters in New York. NAWASA and GIZ embark on a $125 million investment to address water challenges. Grenadian filmmaker and writer Amanda John's Forget Me Not to be featured at the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. Also in the news, regionally, Guyana will spare no effort in defending its sovereignty. Internationally, New York City daycare operator charged in baby's fentanyl death. Plus in the sports news, Grenada wins opener of Women's Gold Cup match. Hello everyone, thanks for joining us. We'll be back with the details.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments. Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Good evening, I'm Kenroy. Baptiste. Minister Deacon Mitchell and Foreign Affairs Minister Joseph Andal are scheduled to address the United Nations General Assembly and deliver remarks at the ministerial meeting of the Summit of the Future, respectively. More in this report.
Grenada's Foreign Affairs Minister Joseph Andal has delivered remarks at the ministerial meeting of the Summit of the Future earlier today. Minister Andal is presently attending the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly, which opened on Monday. On the margins of the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly, Grenada's Foreign Affairs Minister Joseph Andal and his counterpart, Mr. Abdulatif bin Rashid Al Zayani, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Bahrain, signed a formal exchange of communique, strengthening the friendship and cooperation between the two countries in the areas of political, economic, trade, cultural, and other fields of mutual interests. The two sides placed strong emphasis on critical areas that can broaden the relationship between the two nations and welcomed the unwavering commitment of both sides to coordinate efforts to ensure bilateral relations are strengthened. The agreement was signed on Tuesday, September 19, 2023. According to the UN website, the Summit of the Future is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to enhance enhance cooperation on critical challenges and address gaps in global governance, reaffirm existing commitments such as Sustainable Development Goals and the UN Charter, and move towards a reinvigorated multilateral system that is better positioned to positively impact people's lives. Building on the 2023 Sustainable Development Goals, the SDG Summit, members of the UN attending the summit will consider ways to lay the foundation for more effective global cooperation that can deal with today's challenges as well as new threats in the future. The Summit of the Future will complement the Sustainable Development Goals Summit or the High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development convened under the auspices of the General Assembly. Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, he left the state today and will join Minister Andal at the UN. The two will be attending the Alliance of Small Island States, the AOSIS leaders meeting on Friday, 22nd September. This meeting, taking place on the fringe of the General Assembly, is described as an auspicious opportunity for leaders of small island developing states, SEEDs, to crystallize their positions in the AOSIS Leaders' Declaration. The Prime Minister is also on schedule to address the General Assembly on Friday. The United Nations General Assembly is one of the 6 principal organs of the United Nations, serving its main policy-making and representative organ. The Assembly makes recommendations to states on international issues within its competence. It has also taken action across all pillars of the United Nations, including political, economic, humanitarian, social, and legal matters. Kristalina John, GBN News.
Now, a $125 million investment to be implemented by the National Water and Sewage Authority with assistance from GIZ will mark a significant investment aimed at mitigating the authority's most pressing weakness, water storage. Renaped Thomas has more in this report.
The installation of new pipes and the construction of new 500,000-gallon water tanks will mark a significant difference in NAWASA's delivery of service to Grenada. The initiative is part of NAWASA's broad approach to mitigating 2 critical climate risk and vulnerability on the island, namely fresh water availability and disaster preparedness. Construction is set to commence shortly on the longest pipeline run on the island, which will see the replacement of over 12,000 meters of pipeline beginning at NAWASA's Maribo Water Treatment Plant and extending to Tivoli. The 3-phase project will also involve new 500,000-gallon storage tank at the Maribo St. Andrew Plant, Peggy's Wim in St. Patrick, and Tufton Hall in St. Mark. The venture commenced with a sod turning ceremony at the Maribo Propagation Station on Tuesday. NAWASA's chair, Philip Alexander, outlined the challenges faced by the water company.
The challenges that climate change has presented to small island developing states like Grenada, with escalating temperatures and low rainfall, makes this partnership not only timely, but relevant. NAWASA welcomes the opportunity to implement climate resilient projects throughout the Tri-Island state by comprehensively addressing freshwater availability as well as our preparedness for disaster and extreme weather events.
This phase of the G-Cruise project is a $125 million investment and is funded by GIZ, the Government of Grenada, and the Green Climate Fund. Kenny's Trucking Limited was selected as the designated contractor for this major investment. Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell's keynote presentation underscored the core objective of the G-Cruise project, which is to enhance Grenada's resilience to climate change impact in the water sector.
It therefore means that appropriate governance and regulatory framework must be established to ensure that we strengthen our water management systems. This Green Climate Funded project presents therefore a brilliant opportunity for us to comprehensively mainstream and implement climate resilience practices throughout Grenada's entire national water system. The project's holistic approach addresses two main climate risks and vulnerabilities: freshwater availability and disaster preparedness. The project has already begun to become a model for addressing those two issues for other Caribbean islands.
Outgoing General Manager of NAWASA, Christopher Husband, outlined the third area of the project, which will see work on the sister isles.
The area in this phase will involve the installation of approximately 4,000 meters of pipelines and the installation of another 500,000 gallon storage tank in the Mont Rouge area. And this will particularly improve the supply areas like Guankai, the Bronx, and other areas in housing scheme and frequency. By mid-2024, I would expect work to begin on the Group 2 sites, which will provide replacements in many other and districts throughout the island, and a further 8 storage reservoirs, of which 3, slightly smaller, are going to be in Carriacou.
The event also included a special recognition for Mr. Husbands making his final official appearance as General Manager. Husbands will commence his early pre-retirement leave on September 29, 2023, after 33 years at NAWASA. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Well, the news, a Grenadian film will be in the spotlight at the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival this year. It is among several chosen by the judges of the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival Committee to be screened during the festival, which runs from September 20 to 28.
The 15-minute film entitled Forget Me Not was written by Grenadian filmmaker and writer Amanda John and produced by Brainstorm Media Solutions last year. The film spotlights dementia in senior citizens, featuring an all-Grenadian cast and crew. It is among over 100 films chosen for screening during the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival this year, out of over 200 submissions from across the region and the world. Amanda John is the executive producer at Brainstorm Media Solutions.
Forget Me Not is a short film that touches loosely on the topic of dementia, and it's an all-Grenadian cast and crew featuring the accomplished Robert White and the talented Rose Bagwan. And we're so happy because it's a first for a Grenadian film to be screened at Trinidad Film Festival. So that's why we're making the extra effort to go down and represent and network and just see what this opportunity would bring for us.
John, who left the island for the film festival earlier today, is excited to share this achievement with the public.
The film will be screened on 2 days. So first premiere Trinidad and Tobago and a Caribbean premiere at Movie Town on Saturday the 23rd, and then again on Tuesday the 26th.
The Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival takes place annually in Trinidad and Tobago in the latter half of September and runs for approximately 2 weeks. The festival screens feature-length, narrative, and documentary films, as well as short and experimental films. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
Parents who refuse to send their children to school can be charged and/or sent to prison. This reminder comes from education officials who in recent times had to enforce the laws to ensure children were not denied their right to education. The rest of the details in this report.
truancy, which essentially is the action of staying away from school without good reason, is one of the many factors that can lead to delinquency. School attendance officer with the Ministry of Education, Ernest Richards, told GBN To The Point today that truancy continues to be an issue the ministry is faced with, and the parents' refusal to send their children to school is an issue his office has had to address.
In our situation, we have some delinquent parents too that keep their children from school. They might take them to go to the garden. They might take them to go and do some kind of chores when they should really be in school. And you have some children, the parents send them to school. They do not show up to school. And there are still some other children that they go to school because the parents send them to school, but they only reach in school and they do not reach inside of the classroom. So you have truancy on the compound of the school.
The attendance officer further noted that there are parents in Grenada who were brought to court for intentionally refusing to send their children to school. At least 5 parents are currently before the court for truancy.
You know, the parents would have to comply. I took parent to court already and they did comply. And as present, I have about five parents from the Davids area that is presently in the matter is processing.
All right.
And I'm asking, showing that his prosecution department would come in, you know, very handy if they can expedite the process.
In visiting the various schools on the island, Richards stated that his department identifies students who rarely attend schools or class through registers or by complaints by community members. This will result to in-home visit to identify the reason, following which they will proceed to help solve the issues, whether financially or others.
We do not just take parents to court like that. We ensure that all the steps are taken.
Okay.
I go with showing. We give them warning so that, you know, they would keep track and understand that this thing is serious. I will let them know the consequences of the action, and it persists. We get uniform for the children. We get breakfast program. So only thing you have to do as a parent in those cases is to bathe your children and get them ready for school.
Parents who refuse to send their children to school can face a fine of $1,000 or 3 months in prison, or both. For GBN News, I am Rena Pet Thomas reporting.
The story before the break: the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions has taken a decision to nolle prosequi a non-capital murder charge brought against 23-year-old Belmont St. George resident Stephen Buckmeyer in October 2022. The matter is scheduled to come up before High Court Judge Madam Justice Paula Guilford at the St. George's No. 1 High Court on Monday. More in this Nisha Paul report.
Nolle prosequi is a legal notice or entry of record that the prosecutor or complainant has decided to abandon the prosecution or lawsuit. Stephen Buckmeyer, a 23-year-old boat maintenance worker, was arrested and jointly charged along with his 35-year-old uncle, Jude Buckmeyer, a construction worker by profession, with the offense of non-capital murder in October 2022. The charges stem from the death of 31-year-old Darren Coutain, who died as a result of blunt trauma to his head and rib area during an alleged incident at his home in Belmont St. George on September 30th, 2022. Coutain reportedly succumbed to his injuries at the St. George's General Hospital some days after the incident. Both Stephen and his uncle are being represented in the matter by attorney Jerry Edwin.
Our hope going forward is to further convince the prosecution that Jude Buckmeyer had no intent whatsoever to cause any dangerous bodily injury to the deceased. And of course, that's the prerequisite for the charge of non-capital murder or manslaughter. Our hope is that the prosecutor will agree with us and reduce the charge of non-capital murder to manslaughter in the case of Jude Buckmeyer.
Attorney Edwin is optimistic that the prosecution will also agree to reduce the non-capital murder charge against Jude to the lesser offense of manslaughter. He also spoke of plans to approach the prosecution ahead of Buckmeyer's trial to look at certain facts concerning the case.
Stephen was at at the scene of the altercation and was charged. But after we looked at the evidence, we conferenced with the director of public prosecutor, his senior Crown Counsel, Mr. Pinnock, and Mr. Pinnock is a very reasonable prosecutor. He agreed with us after looking at the evidence and some of the things we pointed out that Stephen should not be prosecuted and the charges against him will not proceed.
The Buckmeyer case is one of 15 non-capital murder cases up for adjudication in the September assizes before High Court Judge Madame Justice Paula Guilford, who is the only sitting criminal judge on the island. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
This is Network News. Still to come from us, health officials are reporting an increase in sexually transmitted illnesses. GBN Health coming up next.
Your new Grenlec bill is even easier to read and still has all the valuable information you need to track and manage your usage.
Hey Mom, okay, your friendly tech support is here. So you got the new Grenlec bill? Let's take a look. The new bill makes it even easier to see your bill total, the due date, and much more. And take a closer look. It actually is a lot easier to understand. Let me show you. You can still see exactly what the charges are for, but in a great new format, it even shows how the cost of generating and delivering the electricity to you is calculated using your actual usage. And Mom, let Lucy know she can check out Grenlec's new Understanding Your Bill video. Anyway, look who says hi, and see you soon.
Your new Grenlec bill, easier to understand and easier to track your usage.
Request, repay, repeat with Ariza's FlexiCredit Evergreen Loan Facility. Qualify for a FlexiCredit with limits up to $25,000 or use your home equity to qualify for more. Extra cash at your fingertips whenever you need it. Accessed using your debit card and managed using AMI, Ariza's mobile internet experience app. FlexiCredit allows you the flexibility to top up to your approved limit any day, anytime. Already a member? Send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987. New members join today to apply. Request, repay, repeat. Use your FlexiCredit for vacations, shopping, wedding, general expenses, and more. Ariza loan terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
On Sunday, October 1st from 5 p.m., everyone's going to be heading to the National Stadium for the massive Mega Force promotion, October Mega Cash Bingo.
How much cash we really talking about?
We're talking $100,000. $100,000 in cash to be won. Get your tickets now. $60 for one or $100 for two.
This is going to be another epic bingo event.
Organize your posse now because no one should miss Mega Force October Mega Cash Bingo.
Attention football fanatics, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Grenada versus Jamaica. One epic battle in the heart of the CONCACAF Nations League. Come witness this pulse-pounding matchup on Thursday, October 12th at the iconic Kirani James Athletic Stadium from 7 p.m. sharp. Secure your spot now. Main pavilion for $50. Secondary stand at a cool $30. And the vibrant bleachers for only $20. Tickets are flying fast. Secure yours now from St. Andrew's Pharmacy, Chucky's Bar, Grenadian Optical, Heather's Boutique, Kelly's Hotspot in Gual, Shies Bar in Victoria, Calico Shopping Center in Sates, Giddens Healthcare Pharmacy in Grenville, GFAtickets.com, and GoToFet.com. Why be late and miss the hype? Arrive early and feel the electric atmosphere build up. Grenada's pride is on the line as we battle to remain in the top league. Be there, be bold, and let's make history together. See you there. It's Grenada versus Jamaica, Thursday, October 12th from 7 p.m.
There is a fire that rages in all of us,
a deep desire to be the best that we can be. And sometimes that fire finds expression in words.
Who do you think you are? Angela Davis? Winnie Mandela?
Daddy, whether you like it or not, a new generation has arrived. We are here and we have come with a vision.
You sure is not television all you come with?
The Fire to Dance, a new exciting full-length drama, written and directed by Chris DeRiggs and presented by Heritage Theatre. Opening Saturday 16th September at Grenada Trade Center and running for 2 weekends, 7 p.m. nightly with a star-studded cast.
Come with me, Sophie. We have worlds to conquer.
Come out and feel the fire in the Fire to Dance, starting September 16th. Don't miss it. This ad is sponsored by the National Lotteries Authority, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Everyone wants money, don't you? The National Lotteries Authority's Lotto Jackpot is $196,000. Play today for chances at improving your life. Lotto. Play and win a lot of money.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar power energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. First, make a family disaster plan and ensure that everyone in your household is familiar and comfortable with it. Remember to add batteries and flashlights to your emergency kit. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Rebecca Television Center Republic Bank has announced the completion of construction of additional facilities at Hillview Home. More in this report.
Hillview Home for the Aged, located in Guave St. John, is now equipped with a newly constructed outdoor dining recreational area to serve its elderly residents. This comes as a result of a promise made and kept by Republic Bank Grenada Limited in December 2022. Hillview Home was one of the first beneficiaries of the bank's Power to Make Difference program, which funded a wing containing 6 additional bedrooms to help address the issue of overcrowding at the home. Commenting on the initiative, Ms. Mavis McBurney, Acting General Manager of Operations at Republic Bank, said, and I quote, "Projects like this are made possible under the bank's Power to Make a Difference program, and I am quite confident that the creation of this multifunctional space is making a positive difference in the lives of our senior citizens who deserve no less." Through a press release, the bank stated states that each floor has been outfitted with 160 square foot of additional space to help with the spacing constraints experienced at the home and to afford both male and female residents the opportunity to relax while having their meals outdoors. Chair of the Hillview Board of Management, Mr. Carlisle Glean Jr., in his remarks commented, and I quote, "Our collaboration with Republic Bank over the past 2 decades have been invaluable. Not many in the corporate world maintain this level of relationship with institutions like ours, and we look forward to continued collaboration with the bank for many more years." Republic Bank said it is pleased to contribute to initiatives that meaningfully impact the lives of our elderly. For GBN News, I am Rena Thomas reporting.
When someone expresses his or her intent to take his or her life, it is important not to take it for granted. It's the report.
Suicide is a serious public health problem and can affect people of all ages. Local statistics show an average of 6 people committed suicide in Grenada so far for 2023. Suicide can be described as the act of taking one's life. Attempted suicide or non-fatal suicide behavior amounts to self-injury, with at least one desire to end one's life that does not result in death. Kizzy Matthew Clarence, clinical therapist and head of the Psychosocial Support Unit in the Ministry of Social and Community Development and Gender Affairs, said anyone can contemplate suicide. However, there are warning signs that can alert family members or friends who can provide timely intervention.
Of those include disturbed sleep pattern, so that person might be sleeping too much or have problems sleeping. They may be experiencing a change in the appetite, maybe where they're eating much, not eating at all, or just eating very little. There might be anxiety, some form of agitation. That person might be feeling hopeless. So sometimes they may express the thoughts of wanting to kill themselves or wanting to die or wanting to disappear.
Many factors can spark suicidal thoughts apart from mental health challenges. According to the clinical therapist, when it comes to suicide prevention, it is multi-sectoral. Here's what you as an individual can do to help.
You as a person have to be supportive in the sense that you're not encouraging them to die by suicide, but at the same time you're able to be empathic, you're able to be non-judgmental, listen to them, find out what's happening, because so many of us are going through a lot of pain, a lot of stresses, and some people might be suffering in silence, and you at that point might be that only person that individual reaches out to. But we also want to encourage those who are thinking of attempting, or those who have attempted to let them know there's hope and they can still live successful lives, that they can still thrive.
According to Matthew Clarence, the Ministry of Health is in the process of formulating strategies that will support individuals.
So presently, the Ministry of Health is leading a strategy to devise a plan. It's the National Suicide Prevention Strategy, to see how we can tackle the issue, the public health issue, and how we can put plans on a multi-sectoral level so that we ensure that persons are able to receive the help, not just for persons who are contemplating suicide, but mental health. There has also been some efforts to increase resources from the Ministry of Social Development to provide more specialized care in terms of psychosocial support.
Persons can also reach out to the Ministry of Social Development for support in the interim by contacting 440-2269 or Legal Aid and Counseling Clinic on 440-3885. Christina John, GBN News.
There's an old adage, your health is your wealth. This could not be a more accurate statement, as the number of people diagnosed and living with sexually transmitted illnesses continues to rise. Human T lymphotropic virus, HTLV, is one such illness.
There is an old adage that goes, your health is your wealth. This could not be a more accurate statement, as the number of persons diagnosed and living with sexually transmitted illness continues to rise. Human T lymphotropic virus 1, HTLV, is one such illness. HTLV1 is a retrovirus that infects humans for the rest of their lives. It spreads similarly to the HIV virus through breastfeeding, sexual contact, and blood transfusions. To discover more about the disease, we met with Dr. Francis Martin, a medical and health practitioner, who explained HTLV in greater detail.
The virus is very asymptomatic to a large extent, so many people actually don't know that they have the virus. In fact, HTLV is actually more common than HIV on the island right now. But ordinarily, people don't know, except they have certain specific diseases that we know can cause HTLV. But because of this, now all pregnant women, as part of the normal routine checkup in pregnancy, they all do get an HTLV test. And that's how we know the prevalence of HTLV on the island. The common diseases that it causes is one that is called a special type of lymphoma called a T-cell lymphoma. That's a special kind of cancer that can be caused by HTLV. There are certain throat cancers that can be caused by HTLV as well.
HTLV1 was the first oncogenic human retrovirus to be discovered. It was first studied in 1977. The virus can cause adult T-cell leukemia.
Also, we have known, especially in the northern part of the Caribbean, I think Jamaica was one of the areas that found it out early, it can cause a kind of paralysis called a tropical spastic paralysis, where you lose the ability to use your hands and feet and gets all cramped up and spastic, as they call it. And that's a kind of a neurological disorder that can happen because of HTLV. Outside of that, there are other little things that it can cause. For example, we're aware that some type of respiratory issues can be caused from it as well. But the significance of that is because there is no treatment really for HTLV. And so all we can do is to try and decrease the transmission of it as much as possible.
Dr. Martin provides following response when asked how the virus is spread.
Transmission, you wouldn't even know you've been transmitted to HTLV, because by and large it goes asymptomatic or undetected in your life almost for the entire life that you have. And so that's one reason why doctors would allow or advise pregnant women who are positive with HTLV avoid breastfeeding, because that's one of the ways of preventing the transmission of the virus to the young ones.
Dr. Martin encouraged anyone who might have tested positive for the virus to follow this advice, because observational studies addressing particularly HTLV1 preventions are lacking.
Protecting yourself from HTLV is very similar to protecting yourself from any sexually transmitted infections. It means limiting your sex partners, have judicious sex activity, wearing a condom properly. Those are the kind of things. Avoid sharing body fluids as much as possible. Similar to all STIs, that's how you prevent yourself. Preventing progression of the disease is a bit more tricky, because people don't go to the doctor asking to be checked for HTLV. So, first of all, people have to have a level of suspicion if they want to know if they have HTLV. And if you have HTLV, it doesn't mean that there is any specific things you can use to prevent yourself from progressing. It just means that you have to take better care of yourself. So you eat better, you eat more antioxidants to prevent the formation of cancer cells. Check for the major cancers that HTLV can cause, and once you do those early checks, this is the best thing. But it's very difficult to stop the progression, except that you just practice good eating habits and keep yourself healthy.
Dr. Martin gave young people this advice.
Continue to broaden your knowledge about the risk factors that are out there. A few years ago, we started broadening our knowledge about STI to include HPV, to the extent that now we have widespread vaccines for HPV. So why continue to widen that education and include HTLV as part of that education process? So when you go to get your general checks or your STI workups and so on, ask your doctor about the HTLV and HPV, and may stick something in here as well. Also ask about sickle cell, because sickle cell is also very common, either the trait or the disease. So those are part of the things that young people need to be aware of. Speak to your doctor about HPV and HTLV. And of course, the old advice to young people: avoid sexual activity, judicial sexual behaviors, wearing a condom properly, limiting your sex partners.
Between 5 million to 10 million persons worldwide have HTLV-1 infection at this time. Particularly large populations of the Pacific Islands, Australia, and parts of Japan are affected by the infection.
One of the most frequent complaints from citizens relates to obstructions on the sidewalks. This evening's GBN ISAW captures just one of the many concerns. Stay with us.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISAW is brought to you by Clear Vision. Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Our citizen journalist tonight is expressing concern about a potential hazard looming as a boat is seen docked on the Carenage in St. George, tied to a lamppost. The rope holding the boat to the post is also obstructing the sidewalk. Our ISA reporter is hoping the relevant authority can address this issue. Our ISA line is open for submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
When we return, GBN's program, Our Climate Reality, moves into its second season. We'll hear from the host, Godfrey Augustine.
Let's get back to school with Dutch Lady. Spend $10 or more on Dutch Lady products, scan the QR code, enter your name, address, telephone number, receipt number, and place of purchase at any of our outlets, or online to enter for a chance to win. Shopping voucher valued at $1,000 for school supply. Free internet for 3 months. Free private tutoring for 3 months. Promotion valid from September to October 2023. Terms and conditions apply. Visit participating outlets and get ready to win big with Dutch Lady. Dutch Lady, building stronger family.
Switch to a Ready Cash loan today. Bring your loan to us and get 25% off your interest rate. Get flexible payment terms, fast approval, and a hassle-free service, so you can do all the important things you need with ease. All you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, and 2 references. Visit us in-store or apply online at www.shopcourts.com. Courts Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Introducing the NIS Dream Loan, where possibilities are boundless and your aspirations are our priority. No matter where life takes you, NIS Dream Loans are here to make your dreams a reality. From purchasing your first plot of land or dream property to renovating spaces, building your home, and seamlessly switching mortgages, we cater to every step of your journey. And here's what sets us apart. We offer easy financing options with competitive interest rates, quick approval processes, and flexible repayment terms. So why wait? Apply now and let our dedicated NIS team guide you through this exciting journey. Visit nisgrenada.org/dream loan or call 440-3309 to book an appointment. Terms and conditions apply. Your dream awaits.
Served Grenada for decades, we are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grand Anne, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
The National Lotteries Authority is a proud sponsor of many cultural activities within the Tri-Island state of Grenada.
My name is Anderson Matterson, also known as Baptiste, and I'm a calypsonian and string band music player from Carrico. I support the games of the National Lottery Authority because culture benefits tremendously. Annually, the NLA supports the Carrico and Pretty Martin Carnival, the Carrico String Band Music Festival, and all regattas, among other activities. When I play the game of the NLA, I can see where my money goes, and it's an investment into our culture.
Yes, Grenada, when you play the games of the NLA, you enable us to invest in the skills and talents of our people in the areas of sports, culture, nation building.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium.
Welcome back to Network News. GBN's program, Our Climate Reality, will move into its second season next Wednesday. The one-hour program, hosted by Godfrey Augustine, is scheduled to begin at 8:30 p.m. on GBN Television K105 FM, as well as the Facebook page and YouTube channel of GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network. Augustine says the program is aimed at raising awareness on the issue of climate change.
We want to spend all the time on adaptation and mitigation to climate change because we have to adapt. There is absolutely no doubt that climate change is here. So we have to learn, one, to live with it, and secondly, we have to learn to understand what we need to do and what we need not do in an effort to slow the process of climate change. Because yes, climate change is naturally occurring, but there is the actions of us, human beings, that is speeding up climate change, and that is dangerous.
He says people need to understand what they should and should not be doing.
We continue to cut our trees, we continue to burn, we continue to dump, and all of these things, they contribute to climate change. So we have to be very careful, we have to be aware. We may not understand, for example, when the ice sheets in the Arctic melts, how it affects us, but these sea level rise. When sea levels continue to rise, coastal erosion, salt water can intrude into our water table and affect our water to consume. So there's so much that climate change can do to us that we just need to be paying more attention, and I think it is so important that at the GBN we are taking this initiative. We will be engaging a lot of people in the area of climatology. In fact, the CIMH, they're already on board. That's the Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology in Barbados. They are partnering with us again, to help us to present information that is credible, that is important, and to help educate people on this very, very critical issue.
Grenadians at home and in the diaspora are being encouraged to participate in the program as the information is important for well-being and survival.
The conversation has to continue. It is not a conversation that has to stop. We have to continue to raise awareness. There are many people who still do not believe that climate is changing despite what is happening. So it's a conversation that has to go on. We're going into season 2. That will be about 3 months. So season 2 will start on September 27th and we will go up until December 13th. Of course, we'll break for the Christmas, and then in the new year the conversation continues. We cannot stop speaking on the issue of climate change. It is too much of an important issue to be quiet.
The story: Grenadian women involved in the agriculture sector are benefiting from a move by UN Women to place emphasis on building their capacity in agriculture. Here's more.
As part of the United Nations Women's Training and Capacity Building Initiative, aimed at empowering women in the agriculture sector, the Ministry of Agriculture facilitated a training program on post-harvest management and integrated pest and disease management. The project is funded by the United Nations Women through the ICA Barbados office, with the primary objective of enhancing the skills and knowledge of female agribusiness entrepreneurs and farmers across the OECS. The overarching goal is to strengthen capacity across the various aspects of the agricultural sector. Gregory Del Sol, a technical specialist in the Ministry of Agriculture, said that this is one of the weaknesses in the sector.
This is one of the weaker points of the agricultural sector as a whole, not just at the farmers level, even sometimes at the ministry and other levels. We are not particularly sound in our abilities to collect, manage, and disseminate data. So we started with training in post-harvest management, which is another very important area for the sector. That is one of the ways we're going to do a lot of reducing production losses and ensuring that we have a more sustainable food system. And also integrated pest and disease management, which, as we know, is another very important area that we need to address in the sector as well.
Tuesday's training session was a continuation of the previous week's session, which focused on record keeping. The collective aim of these training efforts is to minimize production losses and promote the development of more sustainable food systems. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture is Aaron Francois.
As part of our budget preparation exercises, the Ministry of Agriculture was encouraged to incorporate gender budgeting statements into its 2024 budget. We gladly embrace the idea because it causes us to be more deliberate and purposeful about ensuring that there is equity in the allocation of resources to the agricultural sector. Oftentimes, our women are unconsciously marginalized because of cultural and other biases. I urge you to learn as much as you can and make the training work for you.
Participants in the training program included both women and men from the Grenada Network of Rural Women Producers, GRENRAP, and Rose Hill Women's Group. The facilitator for the training workshop was consultant Daniel Lewis. Christina John, GBN News.
Sports news coming up next, followed by Around the Globe.
Hi, good day. My name is Kyle Sylvester. I am the manager and founder of Case Farming Enterprise. We're an agro-processing business that are involved in the processing of agricultural goods, where we do bottle seasoning packs, lettuce, kale, and broccoli. Sometimes we as human beings get sick or injured on the job. NS provides a safety net for us. I am here to encourage other entrepreneurs and self-employed persons to sign up under the NIS self-employment program.
A whole new level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
Hubbard's is once again innovating the way you shop with its new online store, providing 24-hour shopping convenience. You can shop now for appliances, hardware, houseware, building material, and more. Free delivery island-wide. Start shopping now at hubbardshardware.gd. Safe, convenient, reliable.
The NLA is giving you more chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding Multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding Multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the Multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more or free plays. With Multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular Playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more with Multi-X added to Playway and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Sporting fans, good evening. Grenada National senior women's team made history on Wednesday night when they won their first ever women's qualifier match. Here's all we can tell you. The National senior women's team is off to a dream start in Group C of League C on the road to Gold Cup thanks to a 6-1 triumph over the Bahamas last night at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium in Nassau, Bahamas. Nia Thompson scored twice to pave the way for the senior women's national team 6-1 victory. She opened the scoring in the 12th minute to hand the visitors a 1-0 lead. Renisha Frank, who timed her run perfectly, bursting into the Bahamas' half, swept in a shot to double their lead to 2-0 in the 36th minute of play. We can tell you too, the Bahamas pulled a goal back right before halftime to make it 2-1 at the break. The Bahamas tried to get back on even terms, but Grenada looked the more dangerous of the two. The second goal from Nia Thompson in the 74th minute gave Grenada a crucial 3-1 lead. Grenada continued to make the most of their chances, with Malia Ramdani tacking on the 4th goal in the 79th minute of play by squeezing in a free kick for a 4-1 lead. Ronelia Bob then extended the scoreline to 5-1 in the 83rd minute with a left-footed effort before Abigail Williams sealed the 6-1 victory in the final minute of second half stoppage time. Grenada will play the Bahamas in the return leg on Sunday, September 24 at the Karani James Athletic Stadium beginning at 4 p.m. The story to report: Dallas, Florida, and New York have been named as venues for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup in 2024, when USA hosts the event for the very first time. The tournament, to be co-hosted by West Indies, will be the biggest in history, with 20 teams competing. A 34,000-seat modular stadium will be built at Eisenhower Park in Nassau County, New York, subject to a permit. Existing venues at Grand Prairie, Dallas, and Broward County in Florida will also be increased in size. The ICC board awarded the hosting of the event to the West Indies and the USA in November 2021. Jeff Allardyce, chief executive of the International Cricket Council, ICC, said the USA is a strategically important market, and these venues provide an excellent opportunity to make a statement in the world's biggest sports market. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup will be held in North America for the very first time in June 2024. Trinbago Knight Riders secured their place in the 2023 Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League CPL final on Sunday with a 7-wicket win over Guyana Amazon Warriors in Qualifier 1 match on Wednesday night. Trinbago Knight Riders had won the toss and chose to bowl first. Led by Salim Keel and Hines, they produced a disciplined bowling performance to restrict Guyana Amazon Warriors to 166 for 7 after 20 overs. It was Guyana Amazon Warriors' lowest score this season when batting first. The Knight Riders' chase was headlined by Chadwick Walton, with the opener ensuring his side never fell before the run rate and eventually guiding them across the finish line with a brilliant innings of 80 not out. The Knight Riders won by 7 wickets to secure their place in Sunday's final. Qualifier 2 between Guyana Amazon Warriors and Jamaica Tallawahs will take place on Friday evening at Providence Stadium. That's the sports news for now. Guyana's president emphasized his country's commitment to defending its sovereignty in the face of renewed threats by Venezuela during his address to the United Nations General Assembly in New York. We get more in this Travis Chase report.
President Irfan Ali has informed the international community of fresh threats by Venezuela and noted that Guyana will spare no efforts in defending its sovereignty. On Wednesday, the Guyanese head of state told the United Nations General Assembly of Venezuela's threatening message Guyana received on Tuesday.
Just last night, Guyana received a very threatening message from Venezuela. It came in the form of a communique attacking Guyana for putting certain oil blocks in our sovereign waters of forbid. Guyana considers this a threat to regional and international peace and security, as well as to Guyana's investment partners.
Venezuela rejected the ongoing bidding rounds for oil blocks in its communique, noting that the maritime areas are pending delimitations between the two countries. The Spanish-speaking country noted that Guyana does not have sovereign rights over these maritime areas, and if any action is carried out, it violates international law.
We demand that Venezuela honors its obligation under the Charter to pursue only peaceful means to settle any disputes it may have with Guyana, including adjudication before the International Court of Justice, allowing the court to decide ensure a resolution that is peaceful, equitable, and in accordance with international law.
Also on Wednesday, Shadow Minister of Foreign Affairs Amanza Walton Desire said the parliamentary opposition supports the position taken by the government. She noted too that Guyana has the right to pursue economic activities in any portion of its sovereign territory. The Spanish-speaking nation is attempting to claim over 2/3 of Guyana's land in Essequibo and a portion of its exclusive economic zone.
Further afield, New York City police are searching for a man who's facing charges in the death of a young child at a daycare. The child came into contact with the deadly drug fentanyl. We get more in this report.
The search is on for the husband of Gray Mendez, the Bronx daycare owner charged with murder and facing federal drug trafficking charges in connection with the tragic death of a 1-year-old boy exposed to fentanyl while in her care. The NYPD say Mendez and her husband's cousin, Carlisto Acevedo Brito, ran a criminal enterprise from the daycare, which should have been a safe space for the young children.
We allege that the defendants poisoned 4 babies and killed them because they were running a drug operation from a daycare center. A place where children should be kept safe, not surrounded by a drug that could kill them in an instant.
Police say they found a kilo of the drug stored on playmats, and authorities say the owner's husband was caught on video leaving the daycare before emergency personnel arrived, carrying 2 heavy shopping bags out of a back alley.
And all of that happened while the children, the babies, were suffering from the effects of fentanyl poisoning and in desperate need of help.
Investigators say they recovered thousands of encrypted messages, including some in which Mendez warned her husband law enforcement was asking questions about him. During a second raid at a home in Queens Village, New York, 5 people are facing charges after police say they found potentially deadly amounts of fentanyl, along with an arsenal of guns, across the hall from the bedroom of a 10-year-old.
Fatal doses of legal narcotics is just across the hall from where a 10-year-old child is sleeping. It is completely unacceptable.
India has suspended visa services for Canadian citizens as the row over the killing of separatists on Canadian soil continues. Tensions were raised earlier this week as Canada said it was investigating credible allegations linking India with the murder of separatist leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
BLS International, which is an online visa application center, they've posted a notice saying that the Indian mission in Canada has suspended visa applications for Canadians until further notice, citing operational reasons. Now, BLS International has also posted the same message to the stock exchanges here in India, informing them of suspension of visa services in Canada. However, India's foreign ministry has not responded to any queries over this matter. Remember, this comes just one day after Indian government advised its citizens in Canada to take utmost caution from what it called publicly condoned hate crimes in Canada. Tensions have flared in the last few days after Canadian Prime Minister made a statement linking Indian agents to the killing of 6 separatist leaders in Canada in June. In fact, the Canadian High Commission here in India today has also said that their diplomats here in India have received several threats on social media, and as a result they are assessing the situation, and they have decided to assess the staff presence in India as well, which means they could be pulling out some of the diplomats in the coming days. And tensions have, flared up between the two countries over 6 separatist leaders and demonstrations in Canada for Khalistan program, which is a separate Sikh homeland. It's a demand that Indian government has strictly and sharply objected to. And this was also a matter that Prime Minister Narendra Modi raised with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau during the G20 summit, and it kind of soured their meeting during the G20 summit as well. Remember, just 1 week before that, Canada also halted trade talks with India. So diplomatic issues have had larger repercussions right now, and it's taking more tense turns right now.
Stay with us. We'll remind you of the headlines right after this. Headlines before we leave you. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell to address the United Nations General Assembly on Friday as he joins Foreign Affairs Minister Joseph Andal at the UN headquarters in New York. NOASA and GIZ embark on a $125 million investment to address water challenges. Grenadian filmmaker and writer Amanda John's Forget Me Not to be featured at the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. Also in the news regionally, Guyana will spare no effort in defending its sovereignty. Internationally, New York City daycare operator charged in baby's fentanyl death. Plus in the sports news, Grenada wins opener of Women's Gold Cup match. I'm Kenroy, Baptiste. That's all from us in the GBN newsroom for the moment. Thanks for choosing the broadcast. Have a good night.